Really, this is the gist of our presentation. Was there anybody you have any questions?
So Johnny, on your trip, your 4-day thing, did you guys already have spots planned ahead of time, like for where to stop every night?
It was funny because when I got there, there was a general idea, and my friend Ebony and I, we did our own tour like the day before. We went to Worcester before we met up with the group, and that video really started where we met the group that morning. So we had a day's head start to get up there. But afterwards, once we got to Worcester, and that was all planned out because we had hosts that they let us stay at their place. Like from Worcester, we went to Providence, we went to Newport, and Newport we went home. So there was like 2 nights of hosting there.
And how did you all find each other to travel together?
You mean that's just good friends? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you all knew each other.
We all knew each other. It wasn't like I was probably the odd man out because I didn't live there. I flew over to Boston, and everybody lived in the area. We just decided to have an adventure to look at fall foliage. My first time there.
How are they planning to get you guys from Oceanside to Phoenix? What route? I don't know. Just
we all just meet in Oceanside.
I know, but what route are you guys taking to Phoenix? I've been trying to noodle that one out myself.
I know that the first day, I didn't look at every detail of the plan, but I know the first day is only 37 miles, and we're actually going to Temecula, Glide, and then either Phoenix. But I think we're averaging, at least for that week, was only 350 miles. That week.
And we just have to go for
The exact, it's actually on the website, it actually shows.
the Fuller.
Yeah, Fuller Center, bicycleadventure.com. They actually have detail from mile to mile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question for either, well, obviously, not more for the self-supported. Did you ever find yourself like, since, I mean, you've been doing it for 5 years, but was at the beginning, was there ever a time when you're like, when you got to camp and you realized you forgot something really important? Or did you, or did you have, or were you so well planned out? Or never ran into anything like that?
Nothing major. I mean, if it was something major, I would have to either figure it out. Like you just have to figure it out. Or, like a lot, if you're missing something, you would find a shop for you together.
So I saw on your 4-day thing, were you completely self-supported, or did you guys stop at restaurants?
We cooked when we got for lunch. We went and bought lunch, and then when we got to the host home, there's actually 2 people that would go to the market and they go from the grocery, and fishing for the money, and they cook, and we have like a meal together. But we each brought a stove for coffee. That's like everybody has to have a stove for coffee. If there's anything, you have coffee in the morning. So you definitely need a stove for that.
What are the things on your longer trip that you did, things that you, or something that you found you shouldn't have done, you wouldn't do again, or on the other side that you definitely advise?
I mean, the stuff I wouldn't do, I probably wouldn't. Definitely, you can always not bring a lot of the stuff you brought. We ended up shipping like a box full of things that we were going. For one thing, I wear contacts, and I ended up not changing my contacts out too often, so I decided to wear glasses instead of the solution, actual contact solution and everything. But for the most part, I'm always trying to figure out like what can I cut off, what can I make this even lighter, more efficient. There's always like constant backup thing. Even in the bicycle touring community, there's always that goal of traveling as light as possible with very minimal that you need.
Did you start that when you first start to pack your bags, and then you realize, okay, you've got to start to edit down different layers of editing?
You keep on editing, and starting to read. You're like, okay, this is what I'm going to go with. Like one pair of pants and one change of clothing, and that's it.
And then there might be even in tour editing.
Because you have an opportunity to watch your shows. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that. And you don't have to. You don't have to.
What was that term that you cited? called warm showering?
Yes, warm showers.
Oh, warm showers. Okay.
Yes, so that is a nonprofit group that people post through, and they're also bike tours too. And it's an application on your phone that you can call people, look up if anybody's available, posting the town ahead. You call them, ask them if they have availability, and if they do, they'll post you for free. You could either they have a room for you, or they can let you camp outside of their lawn.
But that's bicycle touring specific?
That's how it started. Yes.
Okay.
There's also one for regular couch surfing. So you can do that if you're traveling, by yourself with a couple of people.
Oh.
But it's great.
You know.
State parks, all state parks have availability at night for bicyclists to come in and go free. All state parks, that's the rule on their blog. So if you're near a state park, just write in and you've got tonight.
And it's even better up in Washington, Oregon.
Beautiful in Washington, Oregon, have those stops.
Yeah, their stops are great, and it's all included. Like showers is all included. Here in California, they make you pay like a quarter or 15 minutes, but you know, you're guaranteed a spot as a cyclist and a hiker all throughout the state parks. Yeah, I'm also planning a trip across Europe, and starting in March. And so they're saying once we pass Hungary, actually stay in monastery. And the monks will welcome you in and all that. So I'm gonna try that out. Yeah, so there are different ways of camping out. You can even camp outside of the road if you're in the streets.
Well, the questions on your rides, different mileage from each of you. What kind of rides what kind of rigs are you guys riding? And you got any problems with them? Your bicycles, equipment, reliable. Some things have been unreliable on the trips.
I must have gotten really lucky, knock on wood, that I ended up I did talk to a few cycling tour guys before, and I asked them, well, what items do I need? And they're like, the most important thing you need is your tires, and the type of tires you're going to bring, because you definitely don't want to have a flat in the middle of nowhere and not have support. So I was really focused on making sure I had the touring tires. I had pre-punctured tubes as well with the touring tires. So my whole 3,600 miles, I didn't get a flat. Everybody else did, but I didn't get a flat on my either.
So your thing was fully supported. So did you do more of a road bike, or was it still?
Oh, we all had road bikes.
So it's all road
Yeah, maybe one didn't have one, but it was mainly road bike.
Yeah, most of the supported tours you're on your road bike. If your gear is being hauled with you, or you really minimal. It's just what I'm doing. You definitely need a little bit more.
So what are you riding?
What I ride Salsa Vaya. It's a touring bike. It's all steel, and it's great. I love it. Disc brakes.
And that's along the wheelbase.
Yes, I'm on the wheelbase.
I noticed on your video from the East Coast, one of your guys there, he had just a snapshot, but he had
That's a ribbon
double top bars.
Right. It's because his frame is so big. It's just that big.
He's a large guy?
Yeah. Like it's over 60 something centimeters. So it's a Rivendell. It's a special thing that we do there. Okay.
I also liked the tri-bars for me. That helped a lot, because for me, we go 70, 80, and my longest day was 108 miles. So definitely what I recommend is you gotta have that century in before you leave. Because we do long mileage, and the tri-bars for me help me rest.
You can change up your position.
Yes, because my hands were hurting. I mean, the first 2 weeks was probably the hardest for me. Well, number one, it was like a whole culture shock. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know. I came without knowing nobody in the group, and then also I came from the West Coast. So when we started riding the East Coast, that's 3 hours earlier. So I'm just like the whole 2 weeks I was really riding at 2 in the morning my time, right? And so it was just starting to get used to it after a while. It took me 3-4 weeks to really get used to it.
Get to a rhythm.
To a rhythm, yeah.
And a lot of people say like the first 2 weeks is your training week.
Yes.
And right after the 2 week mark, you actually get stronger and it gets better, easier.
Okay, for a question for both of you. You talk about
getting fitted for your bike, or is that essential for the different types of rides, or how do you? What's your
I had that
thought?
experience. I decided to go and say, I'm already fitted, you know. And after 2 weeks, I've never really ridden my bike every day for that much before. So you really get to know how you're feeling on the bike. And the first week, my back, my arms, my neck, my knee, I mean, everything was just like, okay, I gotta get fitted. So I think for me was probably for this year's takeaway was definitely, if you're gonna go on a major trip like this, your bike really needs to be fitted for you. Because you're gonna be on it 8 to 10 hours a day sometimes, and you wanna be as comfortable as possible because by the end of the week, you really don't wanna be in pain. So,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really get fitted. My bike, I kind of knew what I wanted. But it really, my brother-in-law, he had a surly long-haul trucker, and that's really the more popular touring bike. And he was experiencing a lot of different type of pain, even after getting fitted. And so that's why he got rid of the surly long-haul trucker and got a salsa Fargo, and he loves that bike. So really, I think you should spend some more time.
You can demo these bikes too, right? Before making the decision to buy it.
That's right. Okay. So a lot of it you can demo and try it out. But a lot of the time when you're on the road, it's that constant, miles after miles. It's that fatigue. And then that's when you realize, okay, this is not the right size for me.
How much heavier was your touring rig as opposed to say a normal everyday?
It's I think we weighed, each of our bikes was a little over 70 pounds. Loaded. Versus like your
I'm talking
20
weight.
pounds. Yeah, top of my weight. And we didn't lose any weight either when we got back. We actually gained weight.
Well, I love that word.
Muscles.
Well, you can't see them?
Well, I didn't know America was that mountainous.
Yeah. I'm actually going to try to do a cross-country ride in a few years too, but nothing ambitious is what you're doing. Yeah.